the official podcast of the waterfront capital of Texas.
We running this. Let's go. I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. Everybody look at me because I'm sailing on a boat. I'm on a boat.
Weekends on the Water with Jordan Davlin of Jet Surf Houston and Scene Magazine publisher John Ennis.
That is right. This is Weekends in the Water. We're coming to you live from the 4,000 square foot Jet Surf Houston studio and showroom along the North Shore of Clear Lake in the heart of the waterfront capital of Texas. My name is John Ennis, and as always, I'm proud to be joined by Army veteran, extreme water sports competitor, and Jet Surf Houston founder Jordan Davlin. How goes it, Jordan?
What's up, John? How you doing tonight, man? So happy to be here.
Man, I'm happy to be back at it.
Absolutely, dude. Weekends on the water, baby.
Weekends on the water, and we're back focused solely on the water with this show, I think.
Absolutely, dude. The water's warming up. It's sunny. I literally think this is the last week of cool weather. It's been nice, but it's about to start warming up. Easter's right around the corner. It's about to be a lot of boats on the water.
Awesome. And we want to thank Dash Gordon and Gary Bolton for coming on our last show and talking about, all the social outreach and charitable activities that they're up to.
Yeah, no, that was a great episode. I believe that was our last episode with Dash. So
I think so. I hope so, because I just spoke as if it was. So
it definitely was. Yeah.
As far as I remember. Hey, but we're real excited about tonight's guest, and that is Sean Walsh from Jet Ski, Texas. And I guess it's not just Jet Ski, Texas, right? I think you've got a couple different things in the works.
We got a couple things going on these days.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jet Ski, Texas, jet skis, paddle boards, kayaks.
Yeah.
We've got boat rental Galveston.
Okay.
Excuse me, with the pontoon boats.
Oh, nice.
And now the Bayou Boone cycle boat, one of the pedal
Oh,
barges.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
So did you
I've got a partnership agreement.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, very cool.
So,
yeah, you heard it here first.
Yeah,
No.
Right.
So
Awesome. And,
come a long way in 3 years.
nice. And you're located just down the road from us, also along the North Shore of Clear Lake at the Lakeside Yachting Center, right?
That is correct.
Awesome. Yeah, special. Lakeside Yachting Center is a special place in my heart. That's
John has a little bit of history there. As
one of my offices was there back in the day, and that's actually where we launched the Scene magazine back in 2001. Yeah, so good times at the Lakewood Yachting Center. And of course, we're big fans of Cabo.
Yeah. And, that little area has been there a long time. They've been doing this. Everybody's really familiar with that.
Yeah,
and,
of course, the Classic Cafe, right?
Of course, yeah. So, you're right there in the canal in between Barge and Cabo. It's a great location. I think everybody knows where you're at. You did move, I think, from the other side of Cabo, right, at one point, and then over to the canal side, right. And,
we were on, we were facing the main lake.
Okay.
And that posed some problems.
Sure.
With the water coming in, so we moved inside the cut, and just a lot more room.
Sure.
Yeah.
We rolled in May of 21 with 4 jet skis.
Okay.
And then now inside the cut, we've got 8 jet skis,
Wow.
3 pontoon boats, and now the pedal barge cycle boat is what they're known as.
Yeah.
So a lot more room.
Yeah. No, you've got plenty of room to expand over there. I noticed that you, as you were picking up more jet skis, you picked up some jet ski slips on the barge side, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
No, they definitely weren't getting used over there,
Yeah.
So that was definitely good. Man. So I like I said, I've been seeing you kind of expand and bringing in more pontoons. And like you said, I mean, people love going out on the pontoons too. So
absolutely.
being able to do that is huge. Not jet skis are great; they're a great time. But some people, they just want to go on the boat, relax, have the whole family there at once. So that's awesome. I actually. Can't wait to get on one of those myself and just kind of cruise around the lake. Maybe me and John will go look at.
Hey, I'm in. I was actually, I was actually thinking. I've been lucky to be invited out on a pontoon a couple times by a local mortgage agent to look at real estate, but I'd like now. I was doing a little research before the show, and I was like, oh man, you got those too now. You got quite the fleet, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
And it looks like you can do half day and full day rentals. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and mention your website right now. It's jetskitx.com, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Jetskitx.com or jetskitexas.com.
Sure. Okay, there you go. And like you said, jet ski rentals, kayak, paddle boards. There's half day rentals, there's boat rentals. A lot of good stuff to read on the website, so definitely check it out.
Tell us just, and quickly, I'm sure it's on the website for people to look at, but what are your hours right now? Me being in the water sports business as well, it can be a seasonal thing, and even though you stay open, sometimes it's restricted to certain days of the week or certain times. Are you guys, full pedal to the metal right now going, or is it like come April 1st when people can book certain days of the week? So just kind of tell us what days people can come out and rent a boat or a jet ski, because it's about to be summer, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So we're open 7 days a week, weather permitting. First availability on the website is as early as 8 a.m.
Okay.
If you want to come ride a ski or get on a boat at
Early
8 o'clock
bird
in the
special,
morning.
man.
That's right. And we'll rent all the way until right now on the jet skis about 6 p.m. because I got to have everybody off the water before sunset.
Absolutely,
Sure.
yep.
So 7 days a week, 8 to 6, and then I believe when we roll into May, we'll be able to add another hour because sunset's a lot later.
Yeah, starts to get a little bit later.
So yeah, we'll be out there all day, every day, weather permitting.
And people do push it. They want to sometimes do those sunset rides. You're like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Here's the cutoff, and they want to be out there just a little bit longer. So you gotta extend it to right at that edge. Yeah.
Yep. We got a deal on Airbnb, and it's a 90-minute sunset guided tour.
Okay.
So I actually go out with everybody.
Yeah, more like an excursion kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. We'll spend probably 45 minutes on the main lake, and then I'll kind of gather everybody up, and I'll take them back to Taylor Lake, and
Nice.
they love it back
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
They absolutely love it.
I've taken some customers back into Taylor. Sometimes they live back there, sometimes they don't, but it's just off the main lake. Maybe they've never seen the nice houses. It's just smoother. If you go back there, like you said, in the evening or in the morning, they absolutely
It's
love
nice.
it, man. They're like, oh, that ride was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's one of my favorite rides. Like,
Yep.
Right.
Yep. If we time it right, when we come back into the main lake, we'll hit sunset.
Oh,
We'll
nice.
just kind of idle back to the marinas, so it's pretty cool.
got
Oh,
Endeavor
sweet.
in the background,
Right.
Yeah, man, the tower, dude.
Good old Taylor Lake. That's where the pirate Gene Lafitte used to hang out back in the day.
That's right.
Yeah, according
Yeah.
to what I've read. Yeah.
I was actually, I don't know where I was, but something reminded me of that. It wasn't like an article, but I saw something that brought that up, something
Yeah.
about Taylor Lake and him, and I'm like, man, I always forget about that.
Yeah.
Literally parked back there.
And of course, I always point out the house, the huge white house. There's those two real large houses in Alaga right between
man.
on either side of the boat launch. And I always point out the one, they got turned down. They wanted to put a helicopter landing pad right there, but the HOA decided, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I've actually talked about that with a few people, and yeah, I can go both ways on it.
Yeah.
I figure how much damage could they really have caused coming in from the lake, and how much noise being where they're positioned. But at the same time, I can see how that could have been a problem.
Well, it's always the very vocal minority, and there's a lot of people that fit in that category in Alago. So, and I live in Alago, love it, but
I hear y'all been having, not to get too off topic, but it is kind of related. I hear y'all been having some traffic issues over there.
Well,
some road construction got some people frazzled.
Yeah, there is a $12 million drainage project going on in Alaga right now, and they're tearing up
on Lakeside Drive.
Well,
right?
it's all. I mean, it's hitting every street. So luckily, my cul-de-sac. I got cut off from my cul-de-sac for a day, but my neighbor right on the corner, I mean, her yard, she still has like a 20-foot hole. I mean,
Wow.
they park the heavy equipment in people's yards, which is, it's fine, whatever. I mean,
where are they going to put it?
But I mean,
Yeah.
one neighbor had they got the porta pod for all the workers. So, they got to look forward to that all the time. Yeah. So, so it's definitely one of those 2 steps back, but then, 10 steps forward type deals,
Right.
because I've seen the pipe, the pipe that they're replacing and then the pipe that, it's like 6 times the circumference.
They're not going to have to replace this. For a
Yeah,
while.
This one's insane. And truthfully, the funny thing is, at Lago, we got hit the front of the neighborhood got hit pretty hard during Harvey, but it was a drainage problem, and it was because there's a drainage out underneath Nassau Road 1 right here in Seabrook, where those one condos that are kind of built up with I forgot the name of them. I actually just sold a condo there a year ago, but anyway, apparently somebody built a bulkhead blocking the drainage from Alago, so the water just backed up and started flooding the whole front of the neighborhood and working their way. Luckily, so probably I'd say at least 10% of the homes in Alago. Well, probably less than that. I mean, it's the front of the neighborhood. There's a couple key streets, the ones closest to Nassau Road 1, but unfortunately, a lot of them took in water during Harvey, as a lot of our area did. So
Yeah.
But the good news is, I mean, heck, man, Harris County's investing $12 million into improving the situation there. So
yeah, no. So finally,
and of course, I have a listing in Alago, so I always spin it. Hey, man, it's a $12 million investment. Of course, the funny thing is, literally, they tore up the front yard of the house I have listed on Cedar, and I took photos.
gives them a chance to get a new yard.
Yeah, they got new grass, new sidewalk, and a new. I guess the front third of the driveway. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, for a while you couldn't even see the for sale sign. I mean, because they were keeping one of the big tractors there, so we weren't getting a lot of showings, and I think it's kind of slowed things down in Alago in general right now because it is a mess. I mean, Lakeshore, like you kind of alluded to, it's a one-way street going, actually coming south.
I had to give a lesson off El Lago Park like a week ago, or I think it was like last Thursday, and so I had to go through there to do the lesson on Taylor, and I was like, oh, I didn't know.
Oh, and if you're not careful, you might get trapped because we
had to play a little game at one point, and it worked out. We had just enough room, but for a second there, we were like, oh shit,
right, yeah. No, I literally
had
have
to back up a lot.
My son goes to Ed White Elementary School in Alago, so I literally have to leave the neighborhood and then come back into the neighborhood just to get him to school. Yeah, so but it's like I said, it's an inconvenience right now, but it's going to be a huge plus overall. So so we'll take it. We'll take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just happy. Actually, there's a lot of other neighborhoods that would probably love to have the problem we have right now. So no complaints.
So. Yeah, man, back to having fun on the water.
Yes.
Dude, Sean, so tell us a little bit about yourself. And you said you've been doing this for 4 years now. Is that right?
This is the beginning of our third season.
Okay, all right, yeah. What kind of, not the whole backstory, man, but what got you in this business? I mean, did you really enjoy, riding jet skis? Have you done a business like this before? I mean, what kind of...
Never rode a jet ski until I bought the first one.
Oh, wow. So, see, I'm glad I asked that question. That was actually kind of a good one, yeah.
So I grew up on kind of west side of Houston, southwest Houston, Alief, Spring Branch, the Dirty Branch.
Yeah. Okay.
Never ventured to this side of the city ever. And then in 2000, I got a job over off of 8876 Gulf Freeway, right by Hobby Airport.
Yeah.
Actually, where I met my wife 22 years ago.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
So I was driving from the west side of Houston to Hobby Airport every day, and I kept seeing this sign, and it said Clear Lake Recreation Area. I'm like, what the hell is that?
I think I've seen that sign.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So I was like, all right, never been south of the toll road, Beltway. And I was like, all right, I'll go check it out. And it takes you down Space Center, and you pop out right at NASA, and the lake is sitting there. Yeah. I'm like, I'll be damned, there's a lake back here.
Yeah.
So I started looking around. The first thing I saw was the Hilton Hotel, and then next to that is Bayfront Towers.
Yeah.
Yep.
And 2 days later, I drove down, and there was a little deal by the mailboxes for rent. And so I just moved from the west side and got a third-floor condo, lakeside. And, I mean, all of a sudden, I was on the lake. And I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Living the dream.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
What's next?
Yeah.
I got to get a boat.
It happens. It happens.
Yes.
But that was in 2000, and that was when Clear Lake Water Sports was still behind the Hilton.
Yeah, there was a lot of water sports still going on back then.
There was.
Yeah.
Sit on my patio, and I'm looking, and he's got his parasail boat flying around, and the jet skis zipping around, and I'm like, man, that dude's living his life.
Dude, I thought the same thing. I'm going there as a kid and running in with my dad. I'm like, they were so cool. Yeah.
Yep. So, ended up having to move back to Houston. I opened a business in Houston and a call center in Sharpstown.
Okay.
And we had that for a while, and my daughter was born, and she was getting a little older. Well, she's turning 5, and I'm like, yeah, you're not going to school around here. So long story short, ended up in League City.
Nice.
Never bought my boat, but I did join one of the local boat clubs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as a former member of the boat club, worth every penny.
There you go. Yeah, advocate for the boat club then.
Exactly.
Yeah, nice.
So got to spend a little bit of time on the water. time kind of went
It's a good
by.
way to start boating.
Yes.
From what I hear,
Yeah.
it's a great way to
Yes.
get into boating.
Absolutely.
So kind of, dip your foot in, kind of see if you like
Yep,
it. Yeah.
yep.
So
The biggest thing is I didn't have to mess with storage, trailers, and a boat ramp.
Right.
all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's,
So fast forward a few years.
Or the monthly payments.
Or the monthly payments, yeah. I bought my first boat about 4 years ago. I used the boat a lot. I worked at South Shore Harbor, and I had a slip at the marina, so I could walk out my office, hop
you
on
go.
the boat, and go.
Nice.
So I spent a lot of time out on the boat, out on the lake, getting to know the lake.
you got to learn the waters, the
Yeah.
surroundings. Just
Yep. COVID rolled in, and not much to do. So now my wife was spending a lot of time on the boat, and 3 or 4 or 5 days a week, we're just out for hours.
Awesome.
A lot of people were during COVID. We were talking
Yeah.
about that before the show, man. It was big.
Bikes and bicycles.
Oh,
Everybody was riding around on
Outdoor
bicycles.
activities.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, there wasn't a bike to be seen at Academy.
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yep. So COVID, I was in the life insurance business at the time, and COVID kind of messed that up. It made it really hard to sell life insurance, and I just wasn't feeling it as much anymore. And so the wheels start turning. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Spending time on the lake. Originally, I wanted to buy a parasail boat.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Turns out they're horribly expensive. The insurance is outrageous.
I imagine.
And the insurance companies want the guy that's driving the boat to have some experience. So
Oh, I do remember the old,
bit of a liability.
I do remember the guy that did it here in Nassau Bay. He was a fireman. I remember.
Yep.
Yeah, I met him.
Yep.
Actually, I did ads for him even back before the scene. I think. Yeah, for other publications, and I think I did a postcard for him back in the day. Yeah.
Nice.
So wheels started turning, and I was going to get my captain's license and maybe do tours on my boat. And I started poking around, what's available.
Right.
Basically,
Yep.
I would go all the way around the lake on Google Earth and see, hey, what's being offered out here.
Sure.
And there wasn't a good, enjoyable place to rent a jet ski from. So I
That is a fair statement.
I think I know, yeah.
It has been
Yeah.
a rough go at it.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been in this industry 6 years now, so I know all the movers and shakers in
Yeah.
that industry. Yeah.
Yep. So I was like, all right, I'm buy a couple jet skis. Bought 2 jet skis, and I was renting them out of my slip at South Shore Harbor.
Okay.
That didn't last too long. The marina manager called me and she's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what
yeah.
are you doing down there?
Hold on a second here. Yeah. I don't know if that's in your contract.
Yeah.
Was that Donna?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Donna Rogers. Yeah.
Yep. But I had thrown bandit signs all up and down NASA Road 1 from 146 all the way into Friendswood, $75 jet ski rentals, and my phone just blew up.
Yeah. They were like the yellow ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. And just, people started I built my own website. It was horrible.
Oh
but I
God,
got
it's hard.
Got the reservation system on there, and the biggest thing was one night I went to sleep and I woke up and I had a bunch of reservations.